The open world genre has been one of the most prominent ones in gaming, and for good reason. This medium relies on giving players a sense of escapism, and what better way to provide that than letting them loose in a virtual world that's filled with opportunities and possibilities. We have experienced a ton of great open world games in recent years, and here are 30 of the best of all time. Grand Theft Auto 5. The latest entry in Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto has become the most profitable entertainment product of all time, and that achievement can be credited to the sheer amount of fun that anyone can have within the confines of Los Santos. Take up high-stakes heists, blow stuff up, meet strangers, participate in sports or racing, or do all of that, and a whole lot more with other people in the ever-evolving GTA Online. It's a game that's brimming with possibilities, and it's no surprise that it has remained one of the hottest games around despite being almost a decade old. Watch Dogs 2. Building upon the foundations of the underrated original, Watch Dogs 2 aims to provide a better open-world experience with plenty of gameplay variety and succeeds in that aspiration. While the open-world activities might be a standard open-world affair, they become a lot more fun than usual since you have so many options for getting to your objective. The critical path is also pretty engaging, with plenty of likable characters and memorable missions that you'll encounter during your quest to bring down CTOS. Far Cry 2. Set against the backdrop of war-ridden African savanna, Far Cry 2 is a constant battle of survival against your opponents, ranging from standard foot soldiers to the ever-looming threat of malaria. The game boasts excellent physics and has some great systemic gameplay, which makes for a fun and thrilling ride through and through. While the mission design may feel outdated when compared to modern games, the whole package is easily the best of the series. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag puts you in the shoes of Edward Kenway, a pirate in the 18th century, and it's filled with emotional moments and memorable characters like Blackbeard and James Kidd, among others. The naval combat is also supremely fun, and the signature mix of stealth and action gameplay remains as fun as ever. Elden Ring. In so many ways, Elden Ring feels like everything that the Souls series has been building towards for more than a decade. The fantastical world of the Lands Between is home to fierce warriors, giant beasts, and secrets galore, and every square inch of that virtual space is utilized in meaningful ways. The flexibility in combat is also unparalleled, and you can mix and match hundreds of weapons and spells to create all sorts of builds. Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 might not be able to match the sheer carnage of Grand Theft Auto, but the story of the Vanderlyn gang's gradual fall is easily the most heartfelt story that Rockstar has told to date. The gameplay is also built around learning to exist as a cowboy as you meticulously craft your own tents, hunt fish, and split bullets for extra damage throughout your travels against the rapidly changing Wild West. Outer Wilds. Mobius Digital's Outer Wilds is a game that's all about preventing the sun from exploding and resetting an infinite time loop. You need to travel to different planets and try to piece together clues about an ancient civilization, which will slowly and steadily lead you towards the root of the mystery of the time loop. Everything from the writing to the game design to the level variety is top-notch, which makes Outer Wilds an intriguing experience through and through. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Developed by Sucker Punch Productions, Ghost of Tsushima is an emotional tale about Jin Sakai, a former samurai who lets go of the honorary Bushido code in order to drive out Mongol presence from his island. The game features a combat system that's both fun and authentic, and the open world is as beautiful as it is dense with things to do, and once you're done with the base game, you can also hop into the Iki Island expansion, which comes included with the Director's Cut. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Bethesda's premier RPG offerings have always strived for the best in quality and quantity, and the latest entry, Skyrim, is no different within that regard. It's an experience that just keeps on giving. And it's easy to just get lost with countless side quests that are scattered throughout the massive map. Add to that engaging combat and progression loop, interesting writing, and the thunderous music, and the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim becomes a grand adventure without an end. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is an experience that excels both in quality and quantity. Geralt's quest to find Ciri takes him to many different places, each of which is home to a buffet of side quests and monster hunts, all of which boasts the same level of quality as the Critical Path. Everything from the monster lore to likable characters to the addictive nature of Gwent binds you to this game, and it's easy to spend dozens upon dozens of hours just exploring these scenic vistas along with your buddy Roach. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild is a masterclass in open-world design. It's a game that thrives on the joy of exploration and discovery. The gameplay also encourages players to bend the game's many systems to their own will, and creatively dispatch enemies. This Kingdom of Hyrule is home to interesting encounters, meaningful puzzles, and challenging dungeons, completing which will inch you closer and closer to your goal of defeating Calamity Ganon. Grand Theft Auto 4. Even after so many years since its release, Grand Theft Auto 4 continues to be an experience like no other. It's the ultimate culmination of a genuinely moving story, a strong satire, and supremely fun and chaotic open-world mayhem. And while it may feel odd to go back to clunky gameplay mechanics after Grand Theft Auto 5, it's an experience that's well worth experiencing through to the very end. Mafia Definitive Edition. While Mafia might pale in comparison against modern open-world games simply because of the lack of meaningful side activities, it's a game that relies on the excellently written story and realistic gameplay mechanics to keep you indulged for hours on end. Mafia Definitive Edition puts a fresh coat of paint on this classic alongside gameplay improvements, which make returning to the City of Lost Heaven a lot more inviting for gamers accustomed to modern gameplay. Fallout 4. Another masterpiece from Bethesda, Fallout 4 thrusts players into a post-apocalyptic region of the Commonwealth. The map is huge and is filled to the brim with interesting characters to meet, factions to befriend or antagonize, quests to tackle alongside the main quest that sees you embark on a quest to find your long-lost child. Death Stranding. Kojima's latest might not be everyone's cup of tea, but Death Stranding is surely one of the most unique open-world experiences of recent memory. Set against a post-apocalyptic America where communities have closed themselves off and live in isolation all while BTs roam around the crumbled landscape, you take on the role of Sam Porter as he tries to bring everyone together with the promise of the United Cities of America and the Chiral Network. While the gameplay may not be as bombastic as others on this list, it enables you to connect with the protagonist and the twisted world on a very personal level. Horizon Forbidden West. A sequel to the 2017 smash hit Horizon Zero Dawn, Forbidden West continues Aloy's journey as she races against time to stop the mysterious blight from spreading corruption onto the Sacred Lands. The open world of Forbidden West is filled with scenic vistas, technological marvels, and tribal settlements. And exploring every inch of this space is an absolute joy, all thanks to a supremely fun gameplay loop and interesting progression. Forza Horizon 5. Playground Games' Forza Horizon 5 is a dream come true for any fan of car culture. Set against a massive recreation of Mexico, Forza Horizon 5 lets you race or cruise across dozens of racetracks and race types in a wide variety of vehicles, ranging from ancient relics to supercars to pickup trucks and whatnot. The map is filled to the brim with events, completing which will dole out generous amounts of rewards, which will help you unlock better cars and customize them to your heart's content. Batman: Arkham City. Batman: Arkham City puts everyone's favorite Dark Knight out of the asylum and into the city, and is all the better for it. A captivating story featuring some of the most iconic villains in Gotham's rogues gallery takes you on an unforgettable ride, with bombastic boss fights and cool stealth sections. Of course, you're also free to just abandon the main path completely and glide through Gotham, fighting crime on the streets or collecting Riddler trophies. Dying Light. Developer Techland's Dying Light took everything that worked with Dead Island and combined that excellent fighting system with smoothly animated parkour, resulting in a zombie game like no other. Add to that plenty of open-world activities like side quests and substantial amounts of post-launch content, and Dying Light becomes a package that's hard to pass on for anyone interested in open-world games. Sleeping Dogs. While Sleeping Dogs might look like another Grand Theft Auto ripoff at first glance, it's anything but. United Fronts Games' open-world offerings feature an excellent hand-to-hand combat system, plenty of side activities like karaoke or racing, and levels that excellently juggle all available gameplay types for an experience that never lets you down right up until the very end. Red Dead Redemption. Rockstar Games' Red Dead Redemption remains one of the best open-world experiences of all time, even after being released for more than a decade. John Marston's tale of redemption is really well told, and the gameplay strikes a great balance between arcadey fun and methodical gunplay, with the Deadeye targeting system. While accessing the game on modern platforms might be tough, it's an essential experience for fans of Red Dead Redemption 2. No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is perhaps the most interesting candidate in this list. The game started life as one of the most disappointing games of the last generation, but with a constant stream of meaningful updates, the game was able to turn its fates around for the better. As it stands now, No Man's Sky is an experience bursting with varied content and one that constantly rewards and plays with player curiosity. If you skipped past the game when it launched, now is the best time to give it another shot. Saints Row the Third. Saints Row the Third sees your player character leading the 3rd Street Saints gang on a crusade against the Syndicate. Much like its predecessors, Saints Row the Third features sharp writing that's filled with dark jokes and fourth wall breaks, and the gameplay is just as zany and eccentric as you would expect from the franchise. The series has a somewhat wobbly track record when it comes to the quality of its releases, and Saints Row the Third is one of the best of the bunch. Just Cause 2. Just Cause 2 is all about series protagonist Rico trying to overthrow a dictatorship from the island of Pinot. The map is extremely large with varied biomes, and you're free to wreak havoc upon military bases and cause explosions, each of which will grant you chaos points that gradually unlock further story missions. While newer entries in the franchise spice things up with better visuals and weather calamities, Just Cause 2 has a distinct charm that makes it one of the best entries in the franchise. Subnautica. Developer Unknown Worlds' Subnautica is one of the best survival games of recent memory, and it excellently takes you through an interesting narrative as you try to adapt to the constantly changing atmosphere. The game has an excellent sense of progression as you build better tools that allow you to explore the deeper parts of the ocean, and that pursuit can become really addictive in a good way, of course. Shadow of the Colossus 2018 Remake. Much like Mafia we discussed before, Shadow of the Colossus doesn't feature oodles of side content like other open worlds. But that absence is what makes this game so special. Shadow of the Colossus really makes you feel like you are a lone ranger who unfortunately has to suck any and all remaining life out of this already crumbled kingdom to achieve your goal. Each fight against the Colossi is different than the last, and simply put, it's an experience that will remain with you long after the credits roll. Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. Spider-Man is one of the most recognizable superheroes, and while there's no shortage of the character's representation in video game form, none can claim to be as mechanically sound and inherently fun as Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. This sequel might be smaller in scope than 2018's Marvel Spider-Man, but it makes up for it with interesting side missions and Miles' Venom powers that open up new avenues for beating up baddies. Middle-earth: Shadow of War. Despite the many controversies surrounding the game's usage of loot boxes and microtransactions, there's little controversy to be had when it comes to the actual quality of Middle-earth: Shadow of War. Talion's fight against Sauron is ripe with danger, and you encounter plenty of procedurally generated orc captains throughout your journey thanks to the Nemesis system. The gameplay is really fun and exciting as you bounce around the battlefield thinning the enemy resistance, all while your army of faithful recruits help you conquer insurmountable battles. Prototype. Radical Entertainment delivered a fantastic power fantasy with Prototype. The game sees you controlling Alex Mercer as he tries to stop the Blacklight Plague from spreading across Manhattan. You can run on top of buildings, consume your enemies, shapeshift weapons, and glide through buildings, all of which is supremely fun and fluid, thanks to well-designed systems and mechanics. Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Kojima's swan song Metal Gear Solid may have been a product of a turbulent development cycle, but those problems take very little from this amazing experience. The Phantom Pain lets players lose in the open world, where you must carry out high-risk operations as you sneak into military bases and take down Metal Gear. The gameplay is highly dynamic that blends nicely with the systemic elements, and the story takes you through a seemingly never-ending rabbit hole of conspiracies and double-crossing characters. It's a unique experience, and one that shouldn't be missed out on by fans of open-world games. That's all for now. If you enjoy what you saw, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, now is a great time to subscribe. We upload brand new videos every single day. After subscribing, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time, right here on GamingBolt.